Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome back to Wrestling Crossroads. I am one half of your dynamic duo, Twisted, along with Brother Pyro.
What's up, everybody? We are in for the hottest party of the summer. Live from Nashville, we have SummerSlam.
And joining us today to celebrate one of our big four pay-per-views, welcome back, Panda.
Hey, everyone. I'm glad to be back here.
All right, guys, so we have a stacked SummerSlam card. We have 9 matches total, and 5 of those are title matches. So, Big Brother, you wanted to start this match. Take us into it. You wanted this match.
All right. First match on the card. It's kind of funny because it's actually going to be the last match we see as our main event. You have the last man standing match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. Walking in as champion, your record-breaking champion, might I add, Roman Reigns.
So you had mentioned record-breaking. I'm curious to know, when Brock Lesnar does get the 10 count on Roman Reigns, what records would he be breaking here?
If he can get the 10 count, because Roman Reigns ain't no pushover, we will see him not only end a 699-day title reign, but also a 958-day winning streak, which is pretty gosh darn impressive if you ask me.
That is pretty impressive for the modern era.
So yeah, he is now the longest reigning champion of the modern era. Followed second place, his opponent tonight, Brock Lesnar, at, I want to say it was just under 600 days?
550 or 505. I reverse it usually, but about 500 days, yeah.
Yeah, roughly 500 days. But going through who we all picked.
There we go.
We have Panda, you, MKE, and Flash choosing Lesnar. The rest of us picking Roman, and I want to pick your brains as to why.
Which one do you want to start with?
We'll start with you.
So I went with Lesnar. I've been going Lesnar in the last couple of matches. I just need the titles taken off of Roman, and if not taken by Lesnar, then taken by who, honestly? Who do you see goes up against Roman? Because it's just going to be a joke when Theory does it. You know he's going to lose that. Daddy's not in control anymore.
Now, before I get to my gripe with you, because I do have a gripe with you, I could see this. Pull an almost Seth Rollins where he cashed in on both men, wait for it to be a big moment, neither man is able to answer the 10 count, out comes Theory, cash in, neither man looks weak, we get the titles off of Lesnar for a very small amount of time, and as of last night, we have a new number 1 contender for the titles.
So then he takes it off at Clash of Champions.
So
Drew
would take it off of Theory at at the Castle, and then you throw him into a rivalry with Roman.
And who comes out of that?
Roman.
So Roman gets the titles back again.
Roman gets the titles back off of Drew, but I think Drew needs that live audience because he got robbed of that at the pandemic. Mm-hmm. But I also just do not feel like Drew is ready to be in that position at this point. But I have a gripe with you, Miss Panda.
All right, let's hear it.
Few months back, we talked about this same rivalry, this same match, and you were all Roman everything. So pro-Roman, it was ridiculous. And now you're switching sides. What's up with that?
All right, I am going to say yes, I was with Roman the whole time, last time he did it against Brock. And yes, I was saying that he was going to beat Brock, which he did. But this time I'm changing it to be different, is because I'm doing it different because I want to see a different person take on the match instead of having it Roman Reigns take the win.
And your reason for that, like your whole reason about going against Roman after you've been so Roman hungry?
I've been so Roman hungry, but it is getting tiring just seeing him. That's my opinion about it, and I want to see something. I want to see someone different. Okay, I'm going to stop you there, Pyro. I know you're going to say something about that because the whole Roman thing I was last time, but
I am.
Well,
anyway,
we can change our opinion.
We're going to go ahead and change topics and shift into the next match. Take it away, Panda.
Well, this next match may not be the last of its rivalry. It certainly is a match to see if this Cinderella story has already struck midnight or if this champ gets to really prove what she's made of, as we have Liv Morgan in her first ever title defense taking on former champion Ronda Rousey. Guys, I'm very excited to see Liv retain her title, and it looks like that's all of us agreed aside from one of our newest member, Chuck. Now, Pyro, I gotta ask, who could you see as Liv's next 3 opponents after Ronda?
All right, so there's a few names that have run across my brain, and to narrow it down to just 3 opponents was not an easy task. However, because she is SmackDown Women's Champion, I'm going to start with that brand first.
Okay.
Starting it off, I'm going Lacey Evans.
Okay.
Lacey got screwed out of her title opportunity a few years ago because she was pregnant. Nothing wrong with that. Not taking anything away from it. She is an amazing talent. And I think she needs to be showcased as the badass that she is. And I think they're doing a pretty good job with this heel run right now.
I do agree.
Second off, I'm going with Natalya. She has a point. Liv Morgan's cash-in would not have been successful without the already knee injury caused by herself. So, I'm giving it to her there.
I know that was when Panda was talking about when we were discussing all
that.
I
didn't think so. There's a few names, because I could honestly see Charlotte coming back and, hey, I want my title back, because it's Charlotte freaking Flair, and that's how the company views her. But my next thing, my next, for sure, in my third spot
would be
post-draft, or shake-up, or whatever you want to call it, Rhea making the jump to SmackDown. Taking on Liv Morgan, she has already won a number 1 contenders match for a women's title. It was supposed to be the Raw Women's Championship, and she was injured, so she could not have her match.
Mm-hmm.
So, it doesn't look like she's going to get that match with Bianca anytime soon. Switch her to SmackDown. Give her to Liv. And I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't be mad if she was the one that dethroned her.
That would make, honestly, if you think about it, that would make Rhea Ripley then a Triple Crown champion, as technically Triple Crown if you count NXT as one whole brand, including the UK with it. But that does make her then a Triple Crown champion. She's held the NXT UK. She's held the NXT. She's held Raw, and she's held SmackDown then. That would technically, yes, be 4, but if you count NXT as a whole, that's Triple Crown.
Okay, I can see where you're going.
I'm talking big women's titles, not a Triple Crown in WWE. I'm talking big women's titles.
Actually, I think that would still make her a Triple Crown just by WWE standards alone.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't she at one point women's tag team champions?
She was. But if you don't count that, if you count that as a secondary...
I'm going to put this out there. Mm-hmm. Then even if you say NXT UK and NXT Women's count them as one, that would make her a Grand Slam Women's Champion.
Technically it would, and I know Panda would be very happy about that.
So, Pyra,
and under those qualifications, she is a Triple Crown anyway.
So I have a question to ask you. Would Rhea leave Judgment Day, or would she stay in Judgment Day?
Stay in Judgment Day. You have it run through both shows. Not the first time a faction has done it.
All right. I'm curious to see that. But, as strange as it does sound, I'm really interested in their next match.
Well, I'm curious as to what this is, so why don't you bring it on?
I can't be the only one that's very excited to see Pat McAfee punt the smile off of Happy Corbin's face, and as a unanimous pick, I think we all are.
I'm going to point out, I don't think Corbin has had much of a smile lately. He has been on a little bit of a losing streak. Second off, McAfee on the mic and in the ring, as proven by his match against Theory at Mania, he is golden.
Yes. I've loved to see McAfee, and I know Panda has as well. He's been absolutely beautiful every time we've watched him in the ring.
Yeah. Well, from somewhat of a fresh rivalry to one that began at WrestleMania when Logan Paul teamed up with The Miz to take on the Mysterios. After the match, Miz hit Logan Paul with a skull-crushing finale, and now it seems Logan is back for revenge, and we're all for it. Well, all but one of us. Cesario actually went against the grain, and of course, to no surprise, he chose The Miz to win. Pyro, would you like to explain why Cesario picked The Miz?
That's been one of his guys forever. Like, why is he gonna root against his guy? Like, make it make sense. But anyway, we're gonna scratch that from the record. Still love you, man. Even though I disagree heavily with you. From a former tag team of two individual superstars in their own right, we're gonna go into two of the greatest tag teams in today's age. We have the Usos, who are defending their undisputed tag team titles against the Street Profits. I'm most excited about that because that was easily match of the night at Money in the Bank.
Oh, it definitely was.
So I'm really excited to see where this one takes us and how amazing this is going to be, because this place is going to be lit up. And what better spot to do it than at SummerSlam? Picking for myself, and I see that you, Panda, you, Twisted, Flash, and Chuck all agreed that the Street Profits are up and they want the smoke. Us five are choosing them to walk out of Nashville, your undisputed tag team champions.
Well, Big Brother, it seems that we have two that actually are going against us, MKE and Cesario, and they're choosing Mr. Roman Reigns' cousins, who in their own right have been setting a record as well, as they are the longest reigning SmackDown tag team champions at 377 days.
So we talking records now. Like, that's what we doing on the podcast today. Is that what we all about now?
We talking records.
All right. I do want to point out that special guest referee to the match, JEFF, JARRETT, that's Double J, Jeff Jarrett, has kind of agreed to call it down the middle.
When you say kind of.
I've watched his work, so just because he says he's going to do something doesn't make his word bond. It doesn't make it law. By the way, I'm sorry, I'm gonna derail just a little bit. We'll jump back in. I want to point out that post this event, he has an event tomorrow, live on Fight TV, Starcast, Ric Flair's last match, where he will be teaming with AEW's Jay Lethal to take on Ric Flair and Andrade.
Ric Flair's son-in-law.
Yes. Sorry to take away from the moment, but I thought that was a nice little moment, or a nice little chance to plug another Jeff Jarrett appearance, because why not help out the Hall of Famer? Let's get back on track. Twisted.
Well, we were speaking about record breaking, and our next match actually includes the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. Now, last year at SummerSlam, I know we all remember it, Becky Lynch made her triumphant return to take on a then SmackDown Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, and last year beat her in 26 seconds.
Can we just talk about how this whole thing has come full circle at this point?
Yeah.
End it where it started.
Absolutely beautiful. Now, I know we're all sick of seeing this rivalry, pretty sick of seeing Becky Lynch in the title picture. We kind of want something new. I agree with Pyro, and I know you do too. Getting title match after title match after title match, now especially that Charlotte's been out with her injury, wedding, whatever have you. But two of our members actually don't feel the same as all the rest of us do, that being Cesario and Chuck. Any thoughts, guys?
I mean, I don't know why they voted the way they did. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But I personally think that with Bianca being the hottest woman babyface that you have right now, this would not be a very smart move, especially with Triple H now in charge of creative, and this is one of his girls.
Panda, I know you're always a Becky Lynch girl. Any reason as to why you went Bianca tonight?
I just think that she deserves the title more than Becky.
All right. Why don't you take us into the next one?
All right, well, jumping straight into our next match, we have Bobby Lashley putting his United States title on the line against Daddy's boy, Theory. I'm a little disappointed to say that not all of us wanted to see Theory get absolutely squashed and go crying home to Daddy. I'm going to put that out there first, but who is he going to cry to now when he doesn't have Daddy in his corner? All right, Chuck actually went against us all. He believes that Theory will put out some underhanded tactic, and that will cause him to pick up an unclean win.
Speaking of underhanded tactics, that's exactly what our next superstar is great at. So originally this match was supposed to be Seth freaking Rollins taking on Riddle. However, due to an attack by Riddle this past week, Rollins this past week, Riddle has suffered a brachial plexus injury, so a speedy shout out recovery to him. However, Triple H was listening, guys. We have a match for Rollins tonight. However, it is a mystery opponent.
Hopefully this mystery opponent and rivalry doesn't last 3 months like the last one did. And hopefully what should have been his opponent isn't out as long as his last rivalry.
Well, I know you think Seth is coming out on top.
Opponent dependent.
That's honestly funny, but when it comes to mystery opponents, I've noticed Seth Rollins likes to take an L, which is why it's 2 against 5 in this match. So I'm real interested to see who Seth Rollins gets his butt kicked by.
This is why I said a mystery opponent dependent, because there have been a few names circling the rumor mill. We've had guys try to suggest a one-time call-up from a Mr. Carmelo Hayes, your current NXT North American champion, which would be a banger match. Maybe the return of a Gargano.
I guess we'll have to just wait and see. Why don't you take us to the last one?
But all right, rounding up our match cards, we have a no DQ tag team match. Judgment Day's Finn Balor and Damian Priest taking on one of the most legendary names in all of wrestling and luchador history, the Mysterios. Ray teams up with his son Dominic, and it's going to be a real fun match to watch. Going in, we have 5. Sorry, can't count. We have 5 of us siding with Judgment Day. Chuck and MKE being the odd ones out, picking the Mysterio.
Now, I know that one of the reasons you had chosen Judgment Day was you think Dominic's going to make a turn against his father.
I mean, they've already kind of been teasing and booking it. Mysterio has gone on record that he wants his retirement to come at the hands of his own son. What better way to set that man's legendary career, let that man's legendary career come to a close than by setting it up like this?
I mean, I do agree with that, and I gotta ask, do you see, because we know Rhea Ripley's gonna be in the corner, do you see Mysterio's daughter Aaliyah coming out at all?
Not a chance.
Not a chance?
Not a chance.
I guess we'll just have to.
I feel like she's gonna try. Mysterio's gonna be like, nah, just wait in the back with your moms.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. We do apologize. Some technical difficulties did just happen on our end, but I believe we are all done with that match. Am I correct? We're all done with the match card.
I mean, unless you guys have something you guys want to add.
Nope, I think we are good.
All right, well then that rounds out our SummerSlam card. Please enjoy the show. We will see you after for our recap. Signing off for myself, Twisted, and Panda. This has been Wrestling Crossroads. Enjoy, guys.
See you guys later.
See ya.